I think that authentic engagement begins with walking in the door without thinking that you already know everything.
What comes with lived experience is just this really deep knowledge and expertise of like when it's your reality, something that you've lived day to day, that you've genuinely experienced, you're able to contribute kind of nuances and a level of expertise that someone who hasn't been there and lived through it just simply can't bring.
I think people with lived experience can bring or do bring a lot of different experiences and insights, which leads to deeper questions. It leads to deeper thinking on like how the system can change.
We as families are the experts, and that we do know what's best for our families and about our families, and to truly come in showing us that it's going to really help us open our hearts and open our minds to want to help you help us.
Instead of calling those lived experts out, call them in, create spaces where they are already here. So we aren't showing up in response to an ask. This is an environment that includes us, and our lived experience as well as professional experience can inform the work as we see fit.
I have worked with a lot of youth also that have talked about some of the horrific things that they have encountered while they were in congregate care. And when it was reported, there was nothing done about it because the kids themselves have always been labeled as bad children. You know, they're here because they're bad. They're just making up lies to hurt other people. None of this could be happening. So I think that has to be a huge shift from where it used to be, that we have to listen to these kids.
So when you approach the youth and go, we want you to co-design how we can improve treatment, how we can improve quality of treatment, how we can lower length of stay, and how we can create a system where you don't feel like it is the better option to stay in a group care facility, you need to open up and address the very real possibility that these youth will be legitimately and righteously concerned about the impacts to their treatment, their health, and their rights and their privileges back at the facility, that those won't be impacted.
Being invited to co-create from start to finish has created the environment that made me feel that I'm truly a part of this design team. There is power not only in my experience, but my input as a young professional. So the timing of involvement, it wasn't more of a review or an afterthought. It was truly who all needs to be at the table before we even lift the pen.
And so you need to have people who've gone, this is an experience that I've had. This is the weakness in the system that created that experience. I shouldn't have had to go through that. And if you don't include those voices from the foster care population, there's no authenticity. It's the authenticity meter is zero.
Something to avoid with authentic engagement is trying to make it a cookie cutter kind of approach, because everybody that you're going to be engaging, they're all going to be different. They're all going to have different needs, different expectations, different professional backgrounds, different personal or lived experience backgrounds. And so it's important to, it's okay to read the tip sheets. It's okay to gather insight from other folks who have done this work, but to be able what not to do is to come to it as the same every time, is to be open-minded about it.
I think something we tend to say at Foster Club is nothing about us without us. So we believe, no decision about people in and from child welfare should be made without considering the voices of people in child welfare and without them having a say.
If a family is engaged in the child welfare system, young people or parents, something has happened that is probably traumatic for either the young person or the parent or both. And so how are we thinking about the psychological safety of both parties in this engagement? That if we are going to talk to them about their experiences, we are asking them to relive moments that they might not want to recount. And so, how are we holding their psychological safety, emotional safety at the forefront of the engagement?